The fatal waiting. A young man says, once I traveled with a bad company of friends and disobeyed Allah. When I returned from my trip, I met a girl who was a prostitute and I lived with her as if she was my wife. One day she disappeared out of nowhere and I kept calling her with no callbacks at all. I figured out later that I was falling for her due to how much I missed her. A while later, I received a phone call from the police asking for my name and to go to the police station. I was confused as I kept wondering about what I did to get a call from the police. When I got there, the first question they asked me was about a girl's name, which happens to be the same girl that I was having an affair with. So I didn't deny the fact that I knew her, and I said yes. Then they asked me, "Did anything happen between you?" I was scared then, so I said no. They kept asking me if I was sure, and I stood by my answer. Afterwards, I asked them, why all the interest and the questions about this girl? They said that she was missing and that she was carrying AIDS as a disease, and it was proven since she spread it already to multiple guys whom we traced through her phone call logs. We're trying to reach anyone who was in contact with her before it's too late and cure them. I swore to Allah in front of them that I never got in contact with her physically. Following that, I went back home and I couldn't sleep, asking myself, am I alive or dead? The next morning, I went to the hospital to give my blood sample for a test, and they said that the result would be ready after 10 days. Through the 10 days, I couldn't sleep nor eat properly. Furthermore, on the 10th day, I called them to know my result. They asked me to come to the hospital to give me the news in person. I told them that I hadn't had a good sleep for 10 days and that I was extremely tired, but they insisted that I must come. With every step I took to the hospital, it was like I was walking towards death. They asked me to wait in the hall for a while until they got the results. Meanwhile, I saw a family who was infected by a disease but was happy in spite of that in patience. Unlike me, my case was a disaster, shameful, and I would get tortured in hell because of it. And all of that just because of a couple of minutes of weakness to my desires. My turn was up, and I felt like my time on earth was up as well. The doctor asked me about my name, so I confirmed. He kept looking back and forth at the results and at me constantly in an annoying way. So I asked him just to get it over with. He lifted up his head and said, "Thank Allah, you're not infected." I didn't believe what I just heard, and on the spot, I went down on the floor and prostrated to Allah, thankful for His mercy. It felt like I had a new life, and since then, I never missed a prayer, always recited the Quran, and never had a bad company of friends ever again.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم